Hey guys, Professor Zoggy here from Zoggy Studios and GameMaker University. Today this tutorial is going to be about how to make a console output for your games, how to create a output to write to a text file for something like an error log or game log for debugging, so you know that so you can debug easily. I found this very helpful on my game that I'm making, Dementphobia, and I found an easy way to do it. Now, this isn't how to make an in-game console that you can, type stuff into, but it is it is pretty nice to have, and it's pretty simple to do. But first, before we start there, I'd like to just quickly thank any new subscribers, and I have the email open up here. I'd like to thank Nerd Rage Official. Thank you for subscribing. Mighty Axel, Mirage191, and Hated Cammy. I think that's how I pronounce it. Thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. And also I'd like to thank Toy Hawkman for his very nice comment on my last tutorial that he made just a couple of days ago. That was very nice. Thank you very much. Okay, without further ado, on to the tutorial. Now, I've actually got to check to see if any of the things in here require advanced, require the actual GameMaker standard. Let's see. No, that doesn't, and that doesn't. It shouldn't. But if it does, if it gives you an error, do send me a message to tell me that. That will be very helpful to me. So without further ado, here's the tutorial. Okay, now that we're using GameMaker, and let me just move this. And I forgot again, it doesn't work to move the window while you're recording. So just, yeah, deal with it, I guess. First, you're going to want to create a couple of objects just to start out, and we're going to name the second object player object, and we're going to name the first one Soul Troller. I did not spell that right. There we go. Object. Okay, and now we're going to make two scripts. The first one we are going to call console. I'm not good at... Maybe I should take the glasses off. There, that will help better. Console int. Actually, it should be init for initialize. And let me just open this up over here. There we go, so I can type off of it. First, we're going to create a list, which is a data structure. Let's call it global.console list equals ds list create. And that's a function, so we do that like that. And then we'll just comment that, create list for console. And next we're going to make another variable called cFile, and we're going to set that to equal to opening and appending a file. A text file. Let's call it, let's say, file text open append. Now, if we had just used file text open write, then that would have erased what was in the text file already. So we want to use append, so that will automatically make it so that it will add on to what's in the text file. And we're going to call this console log.txt, and make sure that's a string. So we're just going to comment that open text file. And now this one is a bit complex, and you don't have to do this part. I'm just going to copy it in from my example here. So basically this is creating just a string, which will look like, and let me see if I can get an example up here of what it's going to look like. It's going to look like this. It's just creating a string so you know what time the message was produced, or the game was started, rather. And you don't have to do this, of course, but it does help. So after this, we're going to do file, text, write ln. And this will basically it's like a carriage return, or it's a carriage return to make it jump to the next line. So we'll make sure there's always going to be a space in between, and we'll just set that to the file that is open. And we're going to do this 2 times, actually. So we take this, and we go 2 times. Then we go file, and wait, let's unindent this so we know it's not part of that. File, text, write, string. And this is going to be, file is the file we're writing to, and then next string is the string that we're writing, which is up here, the date and the time. And this is just, by the way, how you get the current system time of your computer is you just type current and then the value you want to get, and you have to convert those into strings by using the string function that's encapsulating it. And that's pretty much it for that, except we also have to do file, text, close, and file. Now, at first, when I first tried to do this, I thought you could just open the file at the start of the game and then close it at the end of the game, and you could just keep writing. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to open it, then close it, and then the stuff will be written to the file, if that makes any sense. It doesn't. When you do write string, it doesn't automatically actually write it to the text file. So that's pretty good to start with. Let's go ahead and actually save this as something, and this is just where I have my example here. Let's go ahead and just create a new thing. Video tutorial, and just save it as console.gm81. And that will work fine. Now the next script, let's go ahead and write that. This is going to be console out. And this is going to essentially just be a function where you can say, hey, I want this string written to the text file or the console. And let me actually explain. Let me actually explain. For a third time, let me actually explain. Basically, we've created a list here so that if we wanted to later, we could actually add a full console in the game. Like you press a key and you get a developer console. If you've ever played like a Valve game or any game that has a console like that, and you could have people be able to write into it. But I didn't do that this time. It would add to it. We're only doing the text file, but I've structured this in a way that which you could do that with a bit more work. So let's just go up here and name our and put our function out. I actually have it in here, so yeah. So yeah, see if I can smash that down a bit. There we go. So first, string or variable, we want that you want to be written. And then we have you can either use one of three numbers. 0 is both text and it will write to both the text file and it will write it to the in-game console list. 1 is you want to only write to the in-game console, or 2 only to the text file. So you can choose which one to write to, or both. I just thought that would be nice to have. So then we're going to want to do with statement here, and we're going to have our console controller. And this is, if you don't know what with means, with will basically execute the code within here as console controller object. And stop that. If you don't get what that means, that's okay. So, but it means that we can also access, if we go in here to this, and let's just go ahead to the console controller object, go to the create event, and go ahead and have it execute console init. That means basically it'll do this in the create event. And we have this variable here called next string. Let's see. Next string equals string other dot argument 0. And let's indent that properly. There we go. Okay, so this will take, basically what this is doing is it'll take the argument, the first argument here, from this script had gotten passed to it, and then it makes sure that it's cast, or that it's made into a string. If it's not, if it's like a variable or something. And then first we have a couple if statements here. If other dot argument 1 equals 2, or other dot argument 1 equals 0, then we'll execute in there and copy this. Simply just, copy it over to here and just make this 1. So this will mean so this goes to the text file and this goes to the console. So in the console, I'll just do that first since I'm already there. ds list add, and just global dot console list and next string. So that'll add what we get from the argument, the string or variable, to the console list. Excuse me, my nose is a bit stopped up right now for some reason. Sorry. So C file equals file text open append, and then we have the name of the file, console underscore log dot txt, and then like that, finish it up. Okay, and then we want to do file text write ln. That will do carriage return, if you remember. We have to put the name of the file in there. Then we have file text write string, and I did that wrong, obviously. C file next string, and there we go. Now obviously and we have to close it, text close C file, And there we go. That's essentially it. Oh, one more thing. After all this, next string. Make sure to add that into there after all of that. And that's essentially it for the console out function. So let's go console controller, make sure that's all set up. We just need the console int function in the create event right now. And for the player object, this is just essentially going to be a test. Let's have it, if you press the key space, then it will get, then we'll set up var string, create a local variable, just name it var str, no, like that, str equals get string console out for the text in there, and then for the default text, just put just quotes for empty, and then we go console out, and then str, then 0 for both, and there we go. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and test it, see if it works. Create a room and put your two objects in there, player object and console controller object, and make sure the console controller has a pretty high depth, like that probably. Save it and run it. And oops, I forgot some. Must have forgotten it. Where did I what did I forget? Turn on error checking. Oh. Equals null. I forgot to add that. Make sure next string equals empty in case you have to do something else with it. And of course wait, did I not? Yeah, I didn't actually look at it. Sorry. Okay, make sure it was, please work this time. Okay, we have our blank game. If we press space, we have console out and hello world. Okay, then we close the game. Let's get our Explore window up here, and let's go to the directory. As we can see, we have a text file here, and as we can see, it has printed out our message, hello world, and it started with the date and the time. So this is a very easy way to just do this. You could have these console out functions set up all over your game just for error codes or error messages. Excuse me, that was a burp, sorry. If you wanted, now I am planning to try to actually work on an actual in-game console that you can view and type commands into that. Stay tuned to see if I can do that or not. I have no idea. Well, this is pretty much the end of this tutorial, obviously. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this useful to you at least. And I'll see you next time. This has been Zargi. Goodbye.